Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cheryl Hilton, and I represent the Bridge Committee. And today, I have the privilege and the honor of speaking with the Executive Director of CHRO, Tanya Hughes, who is also, for full transparency, a personal friend. So Tanya, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. It really is exciting to be here.
I'm so excited. So let me just tell you about our Miss Hughes, our Mrs. Hughes. Tanya Hughes was named Executive Director of the Commission of Human Rights and Opportunities on November 13, 2013. She was reappointed to her fourth term as Executive Director in September of 2025, demonstrating consistent and effective leadership, because I know you do. I know you do. Her administration has focused on increasing staffing levels, improving and sustaining relations with the public and other agencies, and enforcing the state's anti-discrimination laws. During her tenure as Executive Director, CHRO was recognized by the White House, awarded numerous partnership grants, developed a new diversity and inclusion committee, advanced numerous bills into law, established required training programs, and provided uninterrupted service to the public during an unprecedented pandemic. Tanya is married to Larry Hughes. All right now, hi Larry. And they are the proud parents of 3 beautiful adult daughters. Tanya, welcome. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, it's such a pleasure to be here.
I'm just so happy. So,
Even in this cold weather.
yes. So, could you just give us a brief overview of CHRO's role in enforcing fair housing laws in Connecticut? And could you tell the people, what does CHRO stand for?
So CHRO stands for the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities. We are the state of Connecticut's civil rights agency, and we're the oldest state-sponsored civil rights agency in the country.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we had that distinction. And we are responsible for eliminating discrimination in the state of Connecticut. And we do that through the enforcement of our anti-discrimination laws, education, outreach like we're doing today. We also monitor contract compliance as well as affirmative action. So under our Connecticut General Statute 46A64C, that's the statute that oversees our housing.
Okay.
And we must remain substantially equivalent to the Federal Housing Act under HUD with our work sharing agreement contract. However, our statutes have far more protections than the Federal Housing Act.
Yes, just
Fair Housing Act.
Just like our Connecticut Fair Housing, we have more additional protected classes here in Connecticut.
Exactly.
Which I absolutely love.
Yes.
And you know what I like to tell people? I like to tell people all of us falls into a protected class.
Some class somewhere. It's like
Yes.
grocery shopping.
Yes.
But does it apply?
Does it apply? Right? And it's so interesting when I get the pushback when I teach
Right.
on fair housing. Well, I'm this. And I'm like, well, how old are you?
Right.
Are you a veteran?
Right.
Do you have children? Protected classes. Protected. What do you do for a living other than real estate? I'm like, protected class, lawful source of income. And I love watching the light for more of our resistant population of realtors. I love watching the light go on when they can make that connection.
Right.
I love that.
It's so nice talking to someone that really understands what is embedded in the law, what is required in the law.
Yes, it is so important. So, what are the most common housing discrimination issues that you're seeing today?
So we're basically seeing a lot of complaints that fall around source of income, what you just spoke about. Basically, we get a lot of pushback on folks who may be eligible for a Section 8 voucher. And so that is always a very popular protected class.
Yeah.
And so you can't deny someone housing, as you know, based on their source of income. If they are eligible, the landlord must at least give them the opportunity to apply. And even if the landlord has applied before and been denied, each situation is different.
Thank you for saying that, because what I find is a lot of realtors and real estate agents, which is the difference. A real estate agent does not have to go by our code of ethics, and a realtor does.
Correct.
Right? But for both categories, I'm finding a lot of them don't understand that the vouchers are individual
They're
to the
individual.
person.
That's right.
And so every time you have to check.
That's right.
And you have to ask the question.
And the people's situations may change.
Absolutely.
And so each time they have to check.
Yes.
Thank you for underscoring that. Another popular issue that we see is reasonable accommodations.
Oh, could we talk about that?
Thank you.
Because that we get a lot of questions about that. What is a reasonable accommodation?
So you must make certain that your dwelling is accessible. Someone, for example, if they're wheelchair bound and it's an apartment building and you're providing laundry facilities.
Okay.
A person in a wheelchair may not be able to access a top loading washer.
That is a really good point.
They might need one that opens the front way. So that will be a reasonable accommodation. Or if there are stairs to enter something, you might need to make a ramp available, those kinds of things.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because that's something I never really thought about.
Right.
Like I always think ramp.
Ramp.
Right? Or
Right.
sometimes if it's somebody who is hearing impaired, I think of that system, the lighting system.
Exactly.
I never thought about laundry. That is such a great point.
We've had recent cases that centered around garbage. We had a woman who was disabled. She couldn't get to the garbage place. And so they kept requiring her to put her garbage bins in a location that she could not access, rather than making it accessible or just allowing her to put it near the place. Simple.
Yeah, and it's
things
such a
like that. Just such a small
such a
thing
small
that's not
accommodation.
unduly burdensome.
Yeah.
But people just don't want to do it. Sometimes they don't like the person. Then that might trigger some of it. Yeah.
You know, that kind of brings me to another question along those lines. If you have somebody who has a physical disability and they're a renter,
Yes.
and they're asking you for a reasonable accommodation,
Right.
can a landlord say no?
Absolutely, if it is something that is going to be too unduly burdensome by the landlord. But if it's reasonable, they certainly can. They have to show efforts. You have to have a conversation.
Got it.
What is it going to take? What is the cost going to be? How long is it going to take? Is it going to make, impositions on me in my life to provide this accommodation for you? Those kinds of things. But you just have to have that conversation.
And who would the landlord, if the landlord makes the decision that it's just too much for whatever reason, who do they go and talk to about that? They
Can come to us for guidance. We'd be happy to talk to them about
Wonderful. Wonderful.
They can come to us for any questions, any kind of guidance. We also do quarterly trainings that anyone can register for on our website and go.
See, I'm so glad you're here because that is a big question.
It is.
And, because the question always then becomes, what is reasonable?
Right.
And I'm like, you need to call somebody. I don't know.
All CHRO. We're still open for business.
I love that.
We're still other areas. We're seeing a lot deal around familial status. Families with large numbers of children. They may want to only show them apartments on the first floor, things like that. All kinds of different situations can be considered a violation.
That is so good because it's on its surface, it seems very easy.
Right.
Right. And some things are.
Right.
But it's a very nuanced conversation.
Exactly.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Connecticut is a strict liability state.
Correct.
For fair housing, which means it doesn't matter your intent, it only matters the impact.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And brokers have to be very careful because they're using real estate agents as independent contractors. However, they're representing
Right.
your agency. And so if they're violating the law, you can be held liable.
Exactly. We are agents of the broker.
Exactly.
And that is one of the things when you're teaching like a new licensee class, they don't really get, I'm like, no.
Right.
You're an agent of the broker.
Exactly.
Yes, you're doing all the work.
Yes,
But they have to take all of the
independent.
responsibility.
That's right.
So this is so good. So how do individuals file a fair housing complaint?
So they can go to our website, www.ct/CHRO, and there is a form that can initiate that process. We also have a fair housing unit in Hartford, and they disperse themselves throughout the state.
Okay.
So you can go in person and meet with someone, but they also can come to you.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is go to the website or call on the phone. If you go to the website, it'll give you the 800 number or the direct down number. And we will file that complaint for you. There are different class bases in Connecticut, as you know, age, marital status, source of income we spoke about. There are two unique issues in Connecticut, the Unite CT provision. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
With the they provide a finite 2-month deposit, and then the security deposit guarantee. Those are unique to Connecticut. And then Connecticut also looks at sexual orientation, gender identity, veteran status, that you mentioned.
Yep. Clean
Clean slate law, all of that. So victims in trafficking.
Yes,
is
which
the
I think
status.
is so great.
Yes, victims of
And
sexual
trying to
assault.
explain that to people, I'm like, I don't think you understand what that does to a person once they're out of the situation.
Exactly.
They need to rebuild their life. And in rebuilding their life, when you're asking about credit and you're asking about all these things,
Exactly.
they're not going to have it.
They're not going to have it. And we do see a lot of cases where people are subjected to extensive background checks,
Yes.
credit checks, which is legal.
Yes.
It's just illegal to discriminatorily apply those to certain people.
Yes. So what they need to do, so to file a complaint, they can either go to the website
Go to the website or call.
or call.
And it's free to file a complaint.
Okay.
Once the complaint is filed, it's going to be served on the respondent. The answer, once it's received by the respondent, has to be provided to the complainant as well. Housing in our housing unit, now we do mandatory mediation just like we do in our employment cases. The investigator, if it doesn't settle at mediation, will go to a full investigation.
Okay.
There's they will issue a draft cause finding. Either they will find cause or a no reasonable cause finding. If they find cause, there's a 15-day comment period.
Okay.
And then we'll consider any comments received. Then we'll issue a final cause. And then there's an opportunity for it to go to our Office of Public Hearing, or we can ask to have it for a court election in our reasonable cause case.
Wow.
And that goes before a board of commissioners, and they vote to allow.
I would love that. So if it gets to mediation is binding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Good to know.
And we do offer monetary award, extended housing opportunities to people. So we're very robustly pursuing the law.
You know, I love that.
Even with all the pushback these days, I'm hard.
Well, especially now, because I'm seeing an uptick of people's public behavior
Yes.
becoming very emboldened
Very emboldened.
and thinking that there's no consequence.
Right.
I'm like, but there are still laws.
Right.
And so I'm so glad that you guys are still,
We're still
in there
open for business, and we're
fighting the fight.
actively fighting the fight.
Yes.
Yes.
So one last question for you, because I am so appreciative of your time. I know how busy you are, and I am just so appreciative. Thank you so much. Last question. What key resources should realtors be aware of and share with their clients?
Okay. CHRO, that's your first. Our resources are free. We have the quarterly trainings. We can also make our training specific to your needs. So if there's something you want to do, a sexual harassment training just for a certain audience, we can curtail that just for that audience and build it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We also partner with other state and national fair housing organizations like the National Fair Housing Alliance, the Connecticut Fair Housing Center, and HUD, of course.
All right. Oh my gosh, this has been so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for making it easy.
Oh, you are so welcome.
The good conversation.
Yes.
Mug spread.
That's it. So, folks, again, my name is Cheryl Hilton. I represent the Bridge Committee for the Greater Hartford Association of Realtors. And thank you again to my dear friend, Ms. Tanya Hughes, the Executive Director of CHRO. Please, 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 it is so important. We have a responsibility to uphold our fair housing laws. If you have a problem, you can either go to the website or you can call, but CHRO is here for us, for our clients, for everybody. Thank you.